wheels and a conspiracy theory. Hope you guys are all doing alright today. Just let the bike warm up for a minute. Don't like taking it out when it's cold. Well, engine's cold. I like to let it warm up just for a minute. So while I was doing my internet researching earlier, I came across a guy that I'd not thought of in quite a while, and actually came across a phrase of his that I think is absolutely awesome. And that phrase was basically, a lack of evidence is not evidence of lacking. And what he meant by that was basically the amount of information that is out there to do with UFOs, aliens, just that particular field. I mean, I would highly recommend, if you are interested in the UFO topic, researching his name, Sergeant Clifford Stone. He's gone on the record as saying that he has worked in the field. There's quite a lot of info out there on him, and it does make a good read, or watching if it's, on YouTube. As always, if you've watched this channel before, you'll know that at some point I'm going to pull over, go through my notes, and basically talk about a particular subject. I can tell you that the subject is going to be free energy, or devices that dramatically change the energy that we use. Basically gone online, picked 3 people, and then jotted down some notes to share with you. Now, a lot of my videos are all about UFOs, people in the UFO field. Now, eventually I'm going to branch away from that and talk about other stuff, but I really do have a passion for this subject. I really do believe there's a lot that we're not being told, and not because we can't handle the truth, as I'm sure, well, it's a slogan now, isn't it? Everyone knows that phrase, you can't handle the truth, but that in itself really isn't the truth. There is, which a lot of people have come forward now and said they've worked in, truth to the UFOs, reverse engineering and all that stuff, then it's being kept not because we can't handle the truth, but they would rather use the technology for covert reasons, and in doing so keeping something from us that should never ever be kept from us. And some of this technology has healing benefits. Other technology could get us out into space, could change the way we use transport. None of it is changing because there's too many people who would lose billions, if not trillions, especially if it became free and they couldn't charge us for it. so hot. The idea of going out on a motorbike on a nice sunny day may seem appealing and it may look awesome, but wow, it's actually almost too hot to enjoy. Wow, I could have taken that corner a little bit quicker. So again, if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll probably know where I'm headed right now. I do this route quite a lot and film and talk. Yep, I'm off to Sainsbury's. I must admit, I am actually quite looking forward to getting in. There is definitely a nice cold brewski with my name on it. Sit out in the garden, get a bit of tan. Well, I say a bit of tan, but it's got quite a nice tan already. One of the benefits of the new move, no longer living in a flat, but living in a 3-bedroom house with a nice little garden. It's perfect. As you must have noticed by now, the camera angle is completely different to normal. Not sure I'm going to keep it like this, but for now, this one video I'll check it out, see what it looks like. Oh, come on, traffic. I'm baking. Come on. And we're across. So hard to hit spot on 30. Yeah, 28. It's a bet the guy behind is cursing my name. Makes such a difference to some people, a couple of miles an hour. I mean, in reality, what? It's nothing. That's it, thank you. You stay there. I see ya. Hoping it's not too busy in here. Because I'm sure it must look quite odd, some guy sitting on a bike reading from a notebook. And my normal spot is available. Get quite a good getaway from this spot. Right. grab my notes. Okay, so as I said, this particular topic was free energy. Now, let's have a look. So, got a few pages on this. So, inventors of alternative energy. Nikola Tesla, a brilliant inventor who wanted to free mankind by giving the world free energy. He died at aged 86. His field of study was electricity. Now, Tesla invented many things, but what he wanted to succeed the most for humanity was his static electricity collector tower. It was built on Long Island. It was 180 foot in height and apparently powered the nearby town for 20 years for free before the Westinghouse company, not sure who they are, tore it down to bury the technology, which would have put power companies out of business. You can imagine no power company is going to allow free energy on the planet. If Nikola Tesla's device had gone mainstream, billions, if not trillions, of profit would have been gone overnight. Does this seem like something these companies will accept? Or will they discredit, destroy, even kill, to keep themselves in control? Now, I know that sounds exceptionally far-fetched, but just think about the companies and how ruthless they are. Would they let go of the control and power? Well, up to you to decide, really. Okay, the second guy I picked was somebody called Stan Meyer. He invented a water fuel cell that replaced his fuel tank in his dune buggy. Now, the cell breaks down water molecules into oxygen and hydrogen, and the hydrogen ran his dune buggy. His invention could use every type of water: ocean, tap, rain, even snow. Stan wanted to protect his country from the oil embargoes by creating a new source of energy not dependent on them. The Pentagon got very interested and flew over a colonel to check out his device. Stan was perfecting his water fuel cell invention so cars could run off it, costing $1,500. Now, pounds, dollars, it was American, so yeah, dollars. And you would never need petrol or diesel in your car. No maintenance would have been needed, and it never needed replacing. So it sounds pretty much spot on. Now, at this time, it was going to take 2 years to be mass produced. Unfortunately, he died under mysterious conditions before his dream was realised. So that's Nikola Tesla, who a lot of people would have heard of. You got Stan Meyer, who's created a completely different way of using energy for cars anyway. I mean, we've got electric cars now coming out, but they're still sort of clumsy and awkward, or at least they were the last time I checked into it. Let's have a look. Once again, with a little research, you will see it's possible to have new and free energy, but the minute it is on display, your patent is bought by energy companies and hidden away until our existing resources are used up. Then they bring out the patent and pretend it's a recent breakthrough, or the inventor's health rapidly changes and his equipment disappears, which happened to poor Stan Meyer. There's far too many people to mention in one video, but the third and final one that I looked at was somebody called Tom Ogle. Now, in 1978, a 19-year-old Tom stumbled across an invention purely by accident. It all started when he was fiddling around with his petrol lawnmower and accidentally punctured a hole in his fuel tank. Rather than patching it up, he used a vacuum line and ran it into the tank and straight to the carburetor inlet. The mower worked and the fuel was now hardly being used at all. It actually ticked over for 96 hours on half a tank of gas. Over the next 5 years, he did hundreds of experiments on his own Ford Galaxy, getting the fuel to eventually go from 20 miles to the gallon to 200 miles to the gallon, which is just epic. Due to his pressurized vaporized system, by injecting the fumes directly into the engine's firing chamber. That doesn't mean too much to me, but I wrote it down as I saw it. I'm sure it makes sense to somebody. In doing this, not only was mileage improved, but emissions were almost non-existent. Now aged 24, Tom notified the press of his invention and claimed to showcase it by driving from El Paso, Texas to Denham, New Mexico, claiming to complete a 200-mile trip on just 2 gallons of gas. Reporters and experts turned up to witness and inspect the car and the fuel tank. They found nothing unusual apart from his own device. His 200-mile trip on the 2 gallons was a success, and he quickly gained respect as an inventor of an energy-saving device. However, despite the initial success, there were rumours that other people had similar patents, including General Motors. All of a sudden, people started to wash their hands of Tom and walk away, suggesting it would never work. So quickly, he was discredited by a simple rumour. But that does seem to be the case in certain areas. You'll have rumours started about you. No, I'm sure you know what I mean if you've looked into anything a little bit strange yourself, especially the UFO phenomenon. So many people get discredited. But anyway, discredited by a simple rumour, even though he'd already proved it worked. Big company, ridicule, crush the competition. Anyway, back to what happened next. His royalties and payments stopped, and the man who was once offered $25 million by Shell to shelf his idea perhaps, and there you go, look, trying to grab his idea and just literally lock it away, keep everything the way it is. His marriage ended abruptly. He became dependent on drink and drugs. Then in 1981, Tom was shot outside a bar in El Paso. Tom died that night. His death was recorded a suicide. This suicide deal happens even to this day. People who would never kill themselves apparently then do in the most odd fashion. It is true. I can't even remember who or how many, but I've definitely heard of it. I sort of scratched my head thinking, well, that's odd. But there you go. Tom's autopsy indicated, interesting choice of words, but his suicide was done with drugs and alcohol. Although many of his friends said he never did drugs and he would never kill himself, regardless of his situation. Tom also believed someone was putting drugs in his drinks. The person who shot him was never found. Many questions are still unanswered, just a few of them, like who shot him and why no cars are fitted with his invention. I think we can guess on that one. Now, I found a couple of quotes by a couple of well-known people, sort of rich and famous, and I just thought it'd be a good way to wrap this up. So, you've got Henry Kissinger saying, control oil and you control nations. Control the food and you control the people. Now, although it's very true, I think it just sort of goes to show the mindset. But anyway, the second one seems harder to verify when it was said and by who exactly, but it's attributed to the Rothschilds. There seem to be a few variations on the sentence, but it basically says, give me control of a nation's money, and I care not who makes its laws. Now, how often have we seen rich and famous people getting away with absolutely ridiculous things that we would quite simply get locked away for life for? Most things really are about money and power, and if you have both, there's pretty much no limit to what you can get away with. But as a family whose net worth is estimated between 350 billion and 2 trillion, that is just amazing. I'd say this sentence has merit. Just food for thought, really, but worth mentioning. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.